I have seen that used to worthy effect. So excellent. Uh Now we need to start talking about your deity. What
Hmm.
what name does your god have and domain?
Her name, the goddess, is Elia, and or I guess the domain is of knowledge and hidden things.
Interesting things. Very well. What is the precept of your religion?
Cult.
Religion is cultish and insular.
Yep.
Petition gaining secrets. Excellent. So, like, what is a typical day of worship for you in the house of Elia? Like,
Um,
do you go to a secret place beneath the earth, draw runes on a rock, and then like sit there and like mumble strange phrases in a forgotten language? Or
no. It's definitely in private. Like definitely more secretive. If someone sees me, it doesn't end well. And then definitely kind of historic runes that not a lot of people know about. That I would scribe on something, either a parchment or something like that. And then yeah, that's how I would commune with them.
all right, so in order to petition your god, you need to gain secrets of the world or something. Good thing you have a bard around, bard who knows all sorts of things.
Mhm.
But how secret can it truly be if a loudmouth bard knows them? All right. Let's talk about your equipment here on the second page. Do you have chainmail or shield?
I got some chainmail.
Excellent. Armament?
Mace
Excellent. And your final choice?
is adventuring gear and dungeon rations.
All right, you like being fed. I just keep coming back to Virgil's character last night, who with his dungeon rations took the form of dead rats sealed inside plastic bags.
That was a golden episode last night.
Oh.
It was, I don't know about golden, but it was certainly different. Uh, Now we need to talk about bonds. So everyone should have a bond section in the lower right, left-hand corner of their first sheet. So you'll need to pick one bond with each of the other player characters, and perhaps some of you have crafted, if not a full backstory, which again you don't need, but some thoughts on the past history of their character. Now would be the time to share that, so people could be like, "Oh, that's cool. I want to jump in here because while you were doing that, here's my bond. I happen to know that Virgil's character is soft, and I will make him hard." So, anyone have any
Yeah.
past thoughts to share?
Um. Let's see. I've been wandering for like several years, making my way in the wilderness. And I think at first I was like, yeah, I can just go and like live in the woods. It'll be awesome. Like I don't need money. I don't need people. And then it was like people would be like hiking through the woods, and I'd be like, hey, why don't you guys like hang out for a minute, like chat or whatever. Oh God, it sucks being in the woods all the time. And then I go to town, but I wouldn't have any coin because I didn't have a job. And yeah, it was just, eventually I was like, I need to find something new. Um, and I probably, had been sticking around the same area for a long time, so I'd be like constantly like asking all the like travelers between like the two nearest towns to come like hang out at my hut in the woods. Like, dude, I have a still. Let's go.
Anyone else got any backstory written
Shit.
down?
Uh,
For my character, sorry, Rich.
no, go ahead. That's fine.
For my character, she's so part of the faith and everything is to find the secrets in the world and bring like knowledge back to the church or the cult. And so I've been traveling for quite a while now, probably about past 7 years, across various lands and dungeons, just bringing secrets back. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
I feel like that makes my bond. Someone trusted me with a secret.
Oh.
Fairly sense make. Would you agree that you might at some stage have told me something interesting that you probably shouldn't have?
Certainly.
Perfect. That's
And maybe I like guided you somewhere to go find. Like you were like, hey, like dirty guy living in the woods. You know where this place is? And I was like, yeah, I'll take you there. And you owe me for it. Is the rest of the bond. I have guided blank, and they owe me for it. Sound good?
Yeah. And since you did that, I would like to convert you to my faith.
Cool.
Hey, I heard you know
her
about
name?
secret things. Why don't you join the cult, brother?
Yeah. What was her name?
Ash.
Ash.
Or Elia. Goddess Elia.
Elia.
Well, I think it's your character's name that he wants to put in there.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, Ash.
Yeah.
Ash.
I have guided Ash before.
Is that
She
Ash
owes
with an
me
E
for
on
it.
the end?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll remind me that he is a she.
Mhm.
Richie, Dave, got any thoughts on some things of ancient past?
My character left home a little bit young, and you can tell he's still very, very green. Like he's probably never even been on an adventure before, and yet he seems a little oddly well equipped for somebody that has never had any experience.
Maybe I think that you do not understand life in the wild, so I will teach you. Does that sound like it would fit?
Yeah, I think that would fit.
Could you be more of a stereotype?
I'm not gonna try not to.
No, not you. I'm talking about young, slightly tanned male.
Yeah, and I feel like you'd be in constant danger, and I'd have to keep you safe.
Ah, okay.
This is working. Oh wait, where are my notes?
Well, that'd tie in with Ash
You-
owes me her life, whether she cares to admit it or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're a human fighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Virgil, what's your character's name again?
My character is named Maro, Marrow. What's your fighter's name?
Cole.
Cool. Okay, yeah, you put it down there, right? I'll teach you what's up. Let's see, what's the third one gonna be?
Well,
Hey,
Dave,
I think Morrow is soft, but I will make him hard like me.
of course. I knew that was gonna... Almost every fighter picks that one.
That's
Mhm.
a classic.
I feel like Cole probably does not trust me, and for good reason, because I'm not like a fighter. I'm not straightforward. I'm all about the songs and the fun and the why do we even have this person along. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you think that you're a friend of nature?
Oh yeah, I'm all about nature. Like
Oh, okay.
flowers and
Dalewyn is a friend of nature, so I will be their friend as well.
All right.
I worry about the ability of Dalwyn to survive in the dungeon.
oh yeah. That's legit.
That is a good matching to the background we've said.
I don't have one yet with Mara. What makes sense? I don't think this is our first adventure, actually. since we're friends and know each other through like
Mhm.
nature and stuff. Would that be okay? I've got the this is not my first adventure.
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, I think probably I had been like ran into Ash like doing some adventuring. Maybe you were already like working for a bookie or something because you knew there was like side secrets to be had on a gig. So yeah, and then like you were like, you're living like trash out here. You should come run some adventures with me. You like saw me hit some impressive squirrel shots, maybe.
Are
Yeah,
you
nice.
trick-shotting those squirrels?
Yeah, I was
while
trick-shotting
using your
squirrels.
Skateboard to
I would
do an
knock.
ollie?
I would shoot a pine cone into a squirrel, into another squirrel, and then catch that squirrel.
Nice.
While running along the
Yeah.
side of a
I
fallen
mean-
tree log, screaming parkour.
Yeah, parkour, hardcore parkour. Yeah, and I don't have to roll for it because it's all backstory.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
Yep.
It was the greatest moment of your life. You'll never be able to beat it.
So that was a thing. It actually happened. No one can do anything about it.
Yeah, so I probably came back to town, and we like started, I don't know, crewing up somehow.
So who is missing a bond spot right now?
Me.
Oh, we just need 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
One with
Okay.
each other character.
Yeah.
You've got them all, Luke?
Yep.
Excellent. Rich?
Delwyn, Cole, and Morrow.
Yep, I got one for each.
Excellent. Dave?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we begin in a seedy, like, bar where there's, it's like crystal balls with, like, ESPN on. But the ESPN is more like Blood Bowl. So there's, like, elves and orcs lining down to play soccer, and, they're probably in, like, full mail. And there's, like, wizards that are in the backfield, like, casting spells in preparation for the kickoff or whatever you call the beginning of a soccer match. I don't know a lot about soccer, sorry. And your bookie, who looks exactly like Danny DeVito 20 years ago, is behind the bar, and he's like, "All right, so I heard you boys are looking for an adventure. I've got a couple lined up. Now, do you want to go to the caves of infinite screeching pain, or the hills that actually have eyes?"
I guess.
I'm sorry, could you give us the
Wait.
choices one more time?
Of course, it's the caves of infinite screaming pain, or the hills that actually have eyes.
I'm on vote for hills
Really?
with eyes is less of a problem sounding to me. You run up, you stab the eyes, just a regular hill now. No problem.
I think maybe Cole's just staring at him like that, like, really?
I'm trying to
Cave
think about
of
which would
infinite
like give me the most
pain.
secrets.
Yeah, I'm like, is there a pay difference?
He's like, "Oh, yes. Quite a bit of pay difference. If you're looking for the best magical items, you can find them all in the hills that actually have eyes.
Like, look over
If you
at
feel
Ash.
like maybe you aren't good enough to work in the professional league, you could always go to the caves of infinite screaming pain."
No, I don't think I would like that one at all. I'm not a big fan of pain. It is, it does hurt me, so I do try to avoid it whenever possible.
The place might just be named after a sound that is constantly there, That wouldn't be so
I
bad.
think the bookie just like laughs and continues cleaning a glass when you say that. He's like, "Yeah, sure, if that's how you think it is, goes, yeah."
Just a bullfrog giving out a whelp all the time.
Yeah.
You assume what you want about it. We don't name these things arbitrarily.
Oh, I'm sure you tell everyone that. I think the hills that actually have eyes sound much more palatable.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Your funeral. All right, so there are 4 wings to the hills that actually have eyes: north, south, east, and the one that doesn't have a name. You have any preference?
Which way shorter?
He says, well, actually, the one that doesn't have a name isn't completely finished yet. You know, as one might assume.
Oh my god.
Let's do that one.
TBA.
So he's like, okay, you want to go down the wing that doesn't actually have a name in the hills that actually have eyes. Okay. All right, then. I'm giving you 4 to 3 odds on this one. There's a good chance some of you may come back alive. Now, which magic item would you like upon completion of this quest? I'll make sure that the demon Prince Malfaroth has it waiting for you should you defeat him. Well, we've got the Cube of Infinite Distraction, used by Felonius the Yellow, Coward of Tyrannisburg, the Slightly Uncomfortable Robes of Heraldry, the Heart's Mask, and the Hammer of Secular Law.
The masks sound cool, man. What's it do?
Yeah, what's that one do?
Yeah, when you put it on, apparently you can see the heartbeat and the heart rate of anyone within a mile of you.
Yeah.
It's not exactly accelerating my heart rate right now hearing about it. So let's go to the next one.
So he's like, well, we do have the hammer of Secular Law.
Hammer.
Yeah,
Really?
it was wielded by the Dark Paladin, Gavanish. Apparently, if you hold it for too long, you go insane, and you do everything by the letter of the law. It was terrible. Oh, 1,000 years ago, he ruled over numerous lands. He would just wander between them, waiting for somebody to jaywalk, or not pay their taxes exactly right, and then he would smash their skull in with the hammer. Anyone holding the hammer is aware of any and all offenses against local customs within 1 mile.
Reminds me of my father.
You kind of see me kind of look over at Ash pointedly and say, pass.
Okay, we've got the Slightly Uncomfortable Robes of Heraldry. When you wear them, they're always slightly too small for whoever is putting them on, no matter what size or body shape the person has. But anyone you look at, you're aware of both their name, their job title, and any historic events they were involved with. This is great for stopping assassins, because normally they're known for a lot of assassinating.
That sounds pretty good, guys.
It does sound good, yes.
Oh, I could definitely do with a pair of those. I'm terrible with names, unless they're already in part of a song. But, yes, I don't think it would matter too much to me if they didn't fit exactly right.
Well, they're always going to be slightly uncomfortable.
Well, sometimes fashion... Wait, no, function before... I forget how it goes exactly. Yes, we'll take those.
Well,
That's my
Dylan,
vote.
you were looking to be able to hit those higher registers in your songs, right?
Yeah,
Oh, quite,
maybe
yes.
a little pinch in the right place might just put you right up there.
Might just do the trick.
Well, if nobody has any objections, that does sound like the thing that I would have been most interested in. Though, you know, I do come with you just for the adventure. And, to complete my epic upon,
Right,
our
but
friend.
you can't go around writing epic tales about all our adventures if you forget everyone's name, you don't know who they are, you know?
Yes, precisely, and
Be
that's why
very
these
useful.
robes. Yes, indeed.
Alright, we'll take it.
He's like, all right, I'll let Malfareth know. Now, will you be arriving sometime tomorrow? When should I be scheduling this dungeon adventure?
Well, you haven't exactly told us where it is yet, chap.
So he's just like, oh, my apologies. The hills that actually have eyes, approximately 1 day's travel north of here, through entirely safe territory. We've set up a corridor. They've got guardsmen all up and down there, just to make sure no screaming fans come along, or none of those, you know, the goblin cartel, none of them break your legs. Oh, it was terrible. Last year we had goblins all over the place. They were trying to mess with the betting scheme, just breaking adventurers' legs left and right.
Well, I've been told to break a leg on more than one occasion before a performance, but that's not exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah, we avoid the goblins if we can.
So when you say that, he starts laughing, and he's just like, "You don't know much about the hills that actually have eyes, then, do you?"
No, just surmising that they, actually have eyes.
Yes, those eyes are goblin eyes.
Goblinization of the local forest and woodlands is terrible, though.
I was actually hoping to actually see a hill with eyes.
So he's just like, "Hey, whoa, listen, I'm not into that whole elfy druid ecosystem crap, but I gotta say, the goblins have been good for the economy. So, before you start bad-mouthing them, they're some of my best customers."
I just sit back and pet my dog.
All right, so everyone is signed on to go to the hall that doesn't actually have a name inside the hills that actually have eyes to look for the slightly uncomfortable robes of heraldry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Let me know if you have any preparations you'd like to make, and then we can jump to you guys being in front of that location.
Oh, sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I am. I'm ready. Sure.
So, when you get to the hills that actually have eyes, it's a set of gently rolling hills, and in the center of this plain of hills, there are 3 tombstones that, massive tombstones, 30 feet high, 10 feet wide, with stairs in front of them that lead down. There's the northeast and south wing. And instead of the west wing, there's an Escherian staircase, or Escher non-Euclidean. Looking at this staircase going down is painful. You're pretty sure it shouldn't really be physically possible.
Perfect. We made the right choice.
Okay. Well, as we approach it, I'm kind of wincing a little bit, from the sight. And I'm trying to straighten out what's happening here. So I want to try to roll a rock down this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you roll a rock down, it's actually kind of hard to follow the rock. It goes down, somehow it's going up. It folds back in on itself at one point. There's a Klein bottle effect somewhere.
It goes through its own surface.
But somehow at the end of it, it reaches the bottom of what you see as a staircase. Intact.
I'm all right, looks, I guess physically possible.
Well, that's definitely something you don't see every day. Delwyn, are you sure you're going to be okay going in there?
Oh, of course. Now, it does remind me of this one song that I knew. It was about a man who could never find the top of the stairs that he was looking for. I think it was probably closer to an analogy, but seeing ones in person, yes, it really gets the creative juices flowing.
All right, I think the approach is, just straight line, 1 foot after the other, and I'm gonna start trying to descend the staircase.
Okay. I mean, as you descend the staircase, you're
come on,
taken through the portals that create this place into the regions beyond, into dimensions human minds were not meant to see, or mortal minds of any kind.
I cover my dog's eyes. Can I do that? Is that a thing I can do?
Do what?
Cover my dog's eyes so he doesn't have to see.
Yeah. The dog's fine. The dog doesn't see anything weird. But
Okay.
you're there's some Cthulhu stuff. Maybe there's a shibboleth standing there at one point. But eventually you get to the bottom of the staircase and you're fine.
I'm no problem. It's just like an acid flashback.
I'd like to.
That was a hell of a thing.
Yeah, I'd like to invoke my bardic lore on spells and magics here, and see if there's any part of this that we can use to our advantage, the way that it's arcanely structured to just bypass traps and stuff by going into the weird outer reach dimension things.
Yeah. So it's clear that they're trying to set up some sort of temporal effect here, but it hasn't been put in place yet. It's still under construction. If you were to remove the entire staircase, like from its foundations, you could probably use it to construct some sort of portal to outer gods. Maybe you could negotiate with them before they eat you.
Well, it's very interesting, but I don't think ultimately particularly useful for our quest at this moment in time.
What tale, song, or legend did you hear this temporal rifting here from?
This is when I should know more about music than I do and make a really clever reference to a song.
It could be a tale or legend. Well, I know that no one man can have all that power.
I feel like that one's a bit tenuous, but I'm willing to go with it if it's the route you would like to take.
I was
Story
actually
of
just
Philosopher
picturing a song
West.
that. Sir, I was actually just picturing a song that like The Sound of Music, except with the hills that have eyes.
Oh, I was
Kanye.
doing that the entire time. Yeah.
Hills, they have eyes. They're the eyes of goblins.
Of course.
Perfect.
I would have gone with the parables of Kanye of the West, but that's me. He's a
Oh.
great warrior philosopher of our time.
Well, I mean, he's
Just
Kanye,
ask him.
the one that doesn't have a name yet, right? Because
All right. So what's happening? I feel like the rest of the party is waiting at the top of the stairs. Well, Marrow is like down there. Marrow, at the bottom of the stairs, there's a skeleton, like an animated skeleton, wearing a butler's outfit, and he's got like a silver tray with like 4 glasses of water on it, and like hand towels.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I take a hand towel and like wipe off my hands and like dab my face.
Its jaw like comes down, and its eyes glow red, and it's like, water, sir.
Like, thank you very much, sir. This is awkward.
Malfaroth would like your flesh properly hydrated.
Of course, and yes, flush. Yeah, right.
Enjoy your stay.
Will do. Come on down, boys. You thirsty?
Yeah,
I imagine
I come
by
down.
that time I would have reached the bottom of the stairs. Like,
Okay.
"What? Is that thing just
Yeah.
talking to you?
Like,
That's
he's friendly.
cool."
I think he's, like the doorman.
Master Cole, would you like a hot washcloth and some water?
It's very
Well-
refreshing.
Yes, that would be quite lovely. Thank you.
So he
He's
like
turning out to be one of the nicest judges I've ever heard of.
holds the silver tray out towards you with a glass of water and a hot press on it.
Yeah, I take him and
Yeah. A spider crawls down your arm and puts a mint on your hand?
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing that happens.
I'm gonna tell all my friends about this place.
He holds
I'd
the
like-
tray out towards Ash and Dale and is like, "Sir, madam, a glass of water."
I take just a hot towel and put it on my neck.
I'd like to speak frankly with this skeleton and ask him
you
a
speak
question.
frankly with players, right?
Uh,
You asked their player a question?
oh, can I only do it with players?
That was my understanding, by the way it was written. But you know what? Because this skeleton is so charming and open, we'll go ahead and say you can speak with the GM.
perfect.
All right.
Yeah. How can I get you to tell me about all of the traps and how to bypass them in here?
You cannot. He doesn't
Oh.
know anything. He's bound specifically here to just serve people and to perform other specific functions. And I believe I may ask you a question in return. Whom do
You
you
may.
serve?
I serve Lord
McBadass.
McBadass of the Elven Court of the Fall, off in the kingdoms of Leaf.
Diatalia.
Yes, I like it.
I feel like that's particularly Elveny.
I can-
Portlandia.
I give my dog
Portlandia.
the last half of my water glass.
So the skeleton is like, do any of you have any religious observances for your funerals should you perish within? Any last